Hi, third graders, it's Mrs. Hinton, and welcome to the Writing Lesson 5 video. Like I say every time, if you have not watched videos 1, 2, 3, and 4, make sure that you go and watch those first because this is Lesson 5. Let's get started. So writers, what I notice every once in a while is that as you are reading your own writing and as you're reading each other's writing, you tend to stumble over the words. Even though you're the one that wrote them or one of your friends is, it's hard for you to read those words. And part of this is happening because as you're becoming better writers, you're using bigger and better words. You're using words that are more challenging and more complicated and harder to spell. So today, for our learning target, and what I want to teach you is when I see long and tricky words, I can say and listen carefully to the parts of those words and then write the ones that I hear. So there's a term that we use for this when we're doing reading and we come across a tricky word, and that word is chunking. I know the kids in my class love the word chunk or chunky or any variation of that. So if that helps you remember, you can call this chunking the words into parts. But another term that we use is skating across a word. So we're going to skate across the word. We're going to try this out with the word gigantic. Gigantic is a big, gigantic word, and it can be kind of tricky to spell. So I'm going to show you the strategy of skating across a word to help you figure out how to spell it correctly. Okay, I want to spell the word gigantic, but it's a tricky word. Watch how I skate across it. First, I'm going to say the whole word slowly. Gigantic. Now I'm going to piece it up and say each part of the word that I hear. Okay, I'm going to write that part down. G-I. Gan. Gan is the next part. I can spell gan, G-A-N. Okay, gigantic. Tick, T-I-C? Or is it K? I'm going to take my best guess and write it down. Okay, so now I've spelt out gigantic. I skated across the word, listening to each part and writing it down as I went, and then at the end I put them all together and spelled gigantic. Now, I'm still not sure if it's spelled with a C at the end or a K, and because I'm not sure, I'm going to circle it, and then I'm going to move on. It's circled, so at the end I can come back to it and double check, either using a dictionary or my little yellow dictionary or Google to make sure that I'm spelling it correctly. It's your turn. You are going to be spelling the word fantastic. Now, if you don't have something to write with, go get it quick so that you can practice. All right, are you ready? Okay, so we're spelling the word fantastic. Try skating across the word, listening for the little parts, chunking it out and writing it chunk by chunk or part by part. Fantastic. Fantastic. Do you have it written down? Okay, let's check it. Fan, that's the first part I heard. Fantastic. 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 Okay, I'm pretty sure this is how you spell fantastic. Did you see how we stretched it out to hear each sound? We wrote the part that we heard first, we stretched it out again, we heard the second part, or we wrote down the second part that we heard, we stretched it out again, and then we wrote the third part that we heard. Good job! Okay, so now that we have this skating across a word or chunking up a word skill, we shouldn't shy away from all those awesome words in our writing. I think sometimes some of us don't put those really awesome big words in our writing because we don't know how to spell them. But now we have a skill so that we can spell them the best that we can. Now, even though we have this new skill or strategy, there's still going to be some tricky words that don't sound exactly like they're spelled. And that's okay. That's when we come back and we double check it after. But there is one word that I think is so important, especially in opinion writing, that we need to just know how to spell. Kind of like in math when we memorize and we know our math facts, we know 3 times 3 equals 9. There's a special word that we all need to know how to spell, and that word is because. Now, if I chunk up the word because, it sounds like it should have a Z at the end, which when we look at the word, it doesn't have a Z. So this is one of those tricky words that even when we skate across it or we chunk it up, it just isn't spelled the way that it sounds. So we need to just remember how to spell it. And I'm going to teach you how I learned how to spell the word because. So you just have to keep saying it over and over. If you're in my class, you know that we learned our sixes, the sixes song, so we can count by sixes super fast. This is kind of the same. So it goes like this. B-E-C-A-U-S-E, because. Okay, try it with me. So repeat after me. B-E-C-A-U-S-E, because. Okay, now let's put the first two parts together. B-E-C-A-U-S-E. Because. Okay, now let's put it all together. Are you ready? B-E-C-A-U-S-E. Because. Okay, one more time. All together. Ready? B-E-C-A-U-S-E. Because. All right. Keep saying that over and over again. When you're brushing your teeth, have that going through your mind. Maybe write the word because and put it on your fridge. This is a word that we should just memorize, and we should know how to spell it because we use it all the time. When I say, give me reasons, or explain that, give me detail, say why, we use the word because. All right, moving on. In your learning packets, you are going to find this new and improved editing checklist. This is a checklist that you can use on all of your writing to make sure that it's the best writing that you can do. I'm going to read through this checklist. At the top, it says end sentences with punctuation. Okay, third graders, you know that every single sentence needs to end with a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. Every single time it needs ending punctuation. The next one says begin each sentence with a capital letter. You know that. Every single sentence starts with a capital letter. Number 3, here's our new strategy. Spell using all you know about how words work, which means chunking a word up, or skating across a word, or remembering how certain tricky words are spelled. The 4th one says make sure others can read your writing. Okay, so that means we're not writing super sloppy, and we are using those strategies to make sure that we're spelling words the best that we can. So this is a great time for you to have someone in your family read your writing, and if they can't read it, that means maybe you need to try again. Take out this checklist and fix your writing up a little bit. The 5th one says check for run-on sentences. This is when we write, and we don't use a period, and we make one gigantic long sentence. So if that's you, or if you're somebody that uses the word and over and over again, and I went here, and then I went there, and then I went here, and then I saw this, and then she said this, and you find yourself tired after rereading it, you might need to go through and put a couple periods and split up that big sentence into a couple of different sentences. Okay, the next one says make sure the sentences inside a paragraph fit together. That means if you have a main idea or a topic, all the things in that paragraph go together. You're not talking about a bunch of random different things. And then the last one says add commas on purpose. Remember, a comma is where we need to take a break, but it's not where the sentence ends. All right, your job this week is to use that editing checklist to write another strong opinion paragraph giving an award. This time, you get to choose what the award is for. It could be, in your opinion, what the best sport is, what the best toy to play with is, what the best restaurant is or fast food restaurant is. As you write, remember to include the reasons for your choice Explain those reasons and give examples. And then give reasons for why you didn't choose the other choices, just like everything we've learned before. As you go, I want you to use the editing checklist to make sure that your writing is the best that it can be. Once you're done, use the checklist again, reread your writing, and fix it up if it needs to be fixed up. I am so excited to hear what award you give and to read your writing or hear you read your writing to me. And if you have any questions, again, you can talk to Mrs. Seville, you can talk to Mr. Davis, or you can talk to me. Okay, bye guys.